Two dads in a Chaz, putting trophies on the wall. Two dads in a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads in a Chaz, talking Green Bay Packers football.
We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Mostly gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air condition, cause it's bound to get hot.
Two dads in a Chaz, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads in a Chaz, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall.
Trophies, y'all.
Two dads in a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Hey! Welcome out to Two Dads and a Chaz. I am your interim host today, Tyson Fauché, filling in for Chaz. Just wanted to say we are the Packers podcast with the Dad Podcast. We are not professionals of any kind. I hate to break it to you, a bunch of fucking idiots that just sit around and kind of talk about the Packers, change our opinions all the time. And if you followed this entire season with us, well, cool. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. But we aren't professionals. Also, like, this isn't for kids. We're going to swear. We're probably going to drink. We're going to be weird. We're probably going to regret some of this at some point. So just wanted to be clear on that. The song pretty much glosses over all of it, but welcome out. We appreciate you joining us on this never-ending journey to somehow find purpose in life through the Green Bay Packers. I am joined today by two of the finest gentlemen on this fucking green earth that we all spend some time on. First of all, he smells like mixed gas. He will definitely tell you what's wrong with your grass. And if you are so lucky, he will play some ZZ Top in his pickup truck for you. Mr. Ty Wendell, hey, it's Ty Wendell, yeah. Ty, what's up, guy?
Yeah. Dads, thanks for having me. Chazless tonight for a little bit, I guess, but really glad to be here and excited to talk some football with you and glad to have everyone join us tonight. It's a real pleasure, fellas.
All right, man. Thank you, Ty. It's always a pleasure. Spend any time with both you guys. Second one is my fellow dad. He gets a lot of fucking shit at these intros, so I'm going to give him a break today. And I'm just going to say, this is a good guy to talk sports with, drink with, go on a boat with, and go to a Packer game with. Mr. Aaron Mayhew.
Hey, boys. How we feeling? Excited to be joined by two fine gentlemen. And I'm not sure how you both are feeling, but I'm feeling average, wildly average, much like this roster of 53 men that seem to trot out on the field each Sunday. So let's dig in a little bit, T-Bone.
I like it. Average is right on par with where I feel like we should be. You know what I mean? Well, we want to go ahead and get started talking about the game. First off, where'd you even watch the game, guys? I know that I have historically spent way more money than I should throwing down for Packer parties at my house, which I usually go big or go home, which I happen to be home already. And we really enjoy it. And I invite a lot of friends over, and I'm very particular, and I keep, very close records. This year, due to circumstance, that hasn't been a problem, or it hasn't been a possibility. Excuse me. It hasn't been a possibility. It has been a problem. That it hasn't been a possibility. So I've been watching the game pretty much at home or by myself or just chilling. So that's my situation. I was at home with the family. I enjoyed it. I did yell at the TV a lot. I ended up getting a little nap at the end, which was amazing. I'll say this. Noon games, baby. Noon games feel like coming home. I don't give a shit if we're terrible this year. There's nothing like waking up on a nice cold morning to a classic noon football game. So that's what I did. I enjoyed it. I'm passing it on. Aaron, where'd you watch the game?
Tyson, I couldn't agree more, man. The noon start time just feels natural. I feel like this team also, for whatever reason, seems to play its best ball at that time. I, being a dad like you, pretty stereotypical day over at the in-laws, fire roasting in the background, helping them get their tree up at halftime. Just some real family shit, you know? And it felt good. It felt good. Ty, how about yourself, man? Where'd you enjoy this game?
Same deal on my couch. I did have a special guest because Chaz lives in Texas and couldn't get the game. So he had me bootleg it for him via Marky P. And then partially through that, he's like, "Oh, Eric Bears fan also would like to watch the game." I'm like, "Bring him up. Let's do this." Well, hosting these two guys through my phone, watching the game with them on the TV, and I realized I have an opportunity. Eric Bears fan has no control over the situation. He wants to watch this game, but he's got to listen to me talk trash about the Bears. So I light into him.
Pretty much you're hostage at that situation. That you're dealing with a hostage situation.
Yep. I'm like, Eric, this is where the Bears commit that terrible penalty that ends up costing them all their momentum. And then like 30 seconds later, there's a flag on a 23-yard pass interference. And I'm like, just cost you the game. He'd like leave.
God damn it. Worst announcer of all time.
Yeah, just like a totally one-sided, like, yeah, you can watch this game in real time, but you're going to have to listen to me say all the things I've ever wanted to say to a Bears fan. So that was great. That was a highlight for me, is even though it was at home, I still had the opportunity to razz a Bears fan the whole time. So fun stuff.
Ty, that's well done. That's well done. I think like even when it seemed like they might have a positive play, like all of a sudden you're in the bathroom taking a piss. He's like, "Oh, come on."
Ty, I can really relate to that story because I actually had Chaz for the first and second quarter of that game. And if it wasn't for my beautiful, wonderful son spazzing out in front of the phone and my inability to keep it in focus, I think I probably would have had him for the whole game. But I was glad to share the responsibility of sharing these wonderful games to the blacked out nation that can't watch it in Texas, which sounds just terrible, like hellscape, hot desert hellscape. Anyway, guys who had a big dick day, that's what I want to know. I gotta know who had the big dick energy player of the day for you on the Packers. Mayhew, what you think?
Man, it's getting repetitive, you know what I mean? But I just feel like the same dicks keep popping up week after week. Am I right?
We all have our favorites. We like what you stick with it, especially you, loyal guy.
I think so this round, it was AJ Dillon for me, guys. Seriously.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the kind of running style, we were kind of looking for him. I felt like the guy was breaking through that first tackle, getting those extra yards, just kind of seeming confident, going north to south, all the shit like we look for and talk about on this podcast regularly. And he, I don't even know what the stats are in front of me here, but the guy had a big dick day, in my opinion, Tyson.
Ty, who's your big dick energy player of the game?
Christian Watson coming up clutch and actually putting points on the board. That's the guy I'm looking for. He did it with the end around. He did it with the big catch. Christian Watson, to me, whipped it out, smacked the Bears around with it.
Dude, Ty, that end around again, guys, every time I think like some kind of secondary is going to cut him off at an angle, he just runs past him like it's uncanny. I'm blown away by this fucking guy.
His speed is alarming. It is concerning for the whole NFL. Like it's like a you can't catch me alarm going off in real time. And they're like, we got to figure out a solution to that super weapon they have right there on the Packers. I absolutely love it. Winning season, losing season, like the way that it's rolling out, guys, we're building momentum while being in my view completely out of it. And that's something. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Well, Aaron, seeing if you wanted to break down the stats here, if we wanted to go ahead and blast in the second quarter here, I'd be curious to see if what I saw is what I saw. So let's get some stats with Nigel Flurm, aka Mayhew. Bring it on home.
All right, boys, we'll dive straight into the quick stats here, and we always start with the evil side of things. So Chicago, Justin Fields, Not throwing the ball a lot, but completion percentage was up there. Man was 20 for 25 for 254. Pretty solid numbers until you get to the interception category. 2 of those, which basically pretty much turned the tide of the game. Second one in particular, moving down into rushing, he also picked up 71 yards, which is, God, this defense's inability to handle rushing quarterbacks is absolutely mind-boggling. For me personally, this goes back to even like Kaepernick days. Like every other defense seems at least it's like, okay, we kind of like deal with
How
it. It's
about
like Pat-
Vic days? How about Michael Vick
Yeah,
days?
that's who
Oh,
We
man,
have
you're
not
taking it back to
been able
05.
handle any. How about Culpepper days? Like name a fucking running back, a quarterback that can run, and we can't handle him historically. Sorry.
Okay.
On
So it's
one of those 20-yard runs.
Fucking problem.
20-yard runs. On one of those 20-yard runs, I think he stole a dread from DeAndre Campbell. I think he was running that fast that he snatched a dread from that man and kept on running. I think he blew by. He was so close to so many players that were just one step behind. He's going to be a challenge going forward.
Yeah, it was more the same from the week prior. I feel you. Aside from that, bottled up for the majority, David Montgomery, 14 carries for 61 yards, nothing out of the ordinary. We move down into receiving, and it's like, again, they're not throwing the ball, but Equanimeous St. Brown, 3 catches for 85 yards. But when you break that down, one of them was for 56 on our boy Jair. We'll touch on that a little bit later. Otherwise, Cole Kmet, 6 for 72, tight end. Chase Claypool, the guy we almost attempted to trade for, he had 5 catches, 28 yards. He looked fairly pedestrian to me. Went down what I thought with an injury, but then got right back up soccer style. Moving on down to the defense, Equanimeous St. Brown actually had a tackle, boys. I just want to touch on that real quick.
He also had a major drop.
All right, boys, let's shift gears over to the green and gold, okay? At quarterback, scorching the fucking air with 18 completions is Aaron Rodgers, total of 182 yards passing.
Sorry.
Moving down to the rushing category, like I said, AJ Dion, 18 attempts for 93 yards, a real solid 5.2 average, and a TD. Christian Watson, obviously, with the end around, 46 yards and a touchdown. And also, boys, the second fastest trackable, fucking statistic of speed the entire football year. Our boy. Aaron Jones, 9 rushes for 26, real quiet in the rushing category, but give me a moment here because down in receiving, also a quiet day. Now that I'm looking at the numbers, 5 for 24. So AJ Jones, it's okay to take the backseat every once in a while. You ride the hot hand, and I did think that LaFleur had a good balance there. Sometimes I feel like he forces Jones. Well, he's going to be in this one. It's like, no, man, like feel for the game. AJ was the guy making the moves. We didn't force it. I thought he did nicely there. Top rated receiver here, 5 yards for 67 was actually Alan Lazard. He never makes it look easy, but my man can be reliable in a pinch, which I do appreciate. Christian Watson, 3 for 48 in a TD. And Robert Tonyan had a catch for 10 yards. Tight end, man, it's a weak fucking position on this team in general.
Yeah.
Just bad.
I'm just gonna chime in real quick on that.
Please.
Lazard thing. He doesn't make it look hard. It's that he was making the hard catches. He's now filled the Donald Driver role of Aaron Rodgers trusts him so much that he can throw it at him even though there's 3 safeties flying at his head. And I think it's not that Lazard was because he did have some tough catches. He was getting pummeled and he was really fighting for position in the ball. But I don't think that he's making it look hard. I'm thinking he's just making hard catches. So good props to that man for really filling that role and being the veteran and the leader and saying, you know what, I'm going to get clocked, but I'm going to catch this ball. Proud of you guys.
Ty, absolutely, man. He fills the role you're describing 100%. Like
Contested catch, possession receiver. Yeah, all day.
Yeah.
My only thing I'm saying is that he's very slow and doesn't actually break away from defenders ever. So the window is small, Ty, but he makes it happen, baby.
Aaron, was there any other stats that really came to your mind that seemed to be important in terms of the Packers' performance?
Yes, I was gonna get to the PFF grades, right, boys? Which always give us a little more in-depth picture of what's going on here. So, top 5 rated offensive players on Sunday, according to PFF. Elton Jenkins coming in at number 1,
Bam.
83.5. Healthy, healthy. Honestly, I thought the offensive line boys did a pretty decent job all day long, given that Bakhtiari had his fucking, lip. What is it again? The appendix removed.
I've
Doesn't
had
matter. Yeah, let's move on. Let's
Take
move
a
on.
band. All right.
AJ, a lot of obvious faces here, boys. We got AJ Dillon coming in at number 2, Christian Watson number 3, Alan Lazard at number 4. I like it. And then Jones even at number 5. I tried to say he had a quiet day, but what do they say here? He forced 2 missed tackles and gained a team high 35 yards after the catch. Doing the little shit that people don't necessarily notice, Moving on down to defense, coming in at number 1,
Day 2.
Devontae Wyatt, the
Woo!
wily rookie that we love and adore on this show. Now, I'll tell you, he had 1 stop against the run and graded out highly as a pass rusher over 9 snaps. That's all it says, but it must have been good, God damn it. Coming in at number 2, T-Bone Trigger, Keyshawn Nixon, 83.5.
Ooh, slippery turkey Nick Nixon there.
Now, let's talk about this a little bit. Coming in at number 3, Razul Douglas at 79, and number 5, Jair, 76.5. Said Douglas produced a stop against the run and the pass. That's the only sentence they wrote. And then Alexander gave up 121 receiving yards against his coverage, but also created 3 stops and an interception. I'm saying this to give our fans like a perspective of like what Pro Football Focus is trying to like grade here, And what I think is important is you look at it all. We look at the individual stats, we look at Pro Football Focus, and then what the fuck did you see on Sunday and how do you feel about it? Rounding out the rest of the list is mostly just like our tight end core, which needs to be sorely addressed in the offseason for multiple reasons. Bottom 5 of the defense coming in at number 1 is my boy, Kingsley Anigbare. Tough to say, but he had 2 hurries, didn't miss a tackle, but apparently just horrible defensive run grade to drag him down as far as they did. Jerron Reed, you're gone after this year. Rudy Ford didn't want to see on this list, 48.8. Devondre Campbell also there. First game back, he didn't look comfortable to me. Let's talk about that a little bit, guys. Linebacking core, Ty, I know you take it pretty seriously here. What'd you think about the boys this week, knowing that Campbell was actually back in the lineup next to Quay?
Campbell was a step slow, and it showed. He did get burned by Justin Fields a couple times. He was out of position a couple times. There was a long outside pass for a first down that he just totally was like, he forgot that he was covering that tight end and had to make up all that ground. And by then it was too late. They fooled him a couple times on some kick everybody one way, send one guy one way, and Campbell was lost in space yet again. So he's definitely has some game speed. I don't know. He still had fierceness. I mean, I saw him make tackles. It was just he was out of sorts. He had a bad day. Quay, solid, quiet. I'm just gonna go get my 4-6 tackles, whatever it was, and just do it silently. Interesting stat: Quay leads all rookies in tackles. So, I mean, as far as keeping up with your draft class, I think everybody'd like to say that their rookie defender is the leader in tackles. I mean, Quay has filled that middle linebacker role beautifully. I don't think he made a splash this week, but he definitely did his job, which allows Preston Smith to do his, which is seal the edge, shut down the run, shut down the trick stuff, and just be a menace. And Preston Smith has been Preston Smith plus Rashawn Gary this year, and Preston Smith has held his own. And I'm proud of that man too, because it doesn't show up big on the stat sheets, but what Preston did for controlling the Bears line of scrimmage was, man, I wish I could see that in the playoffs, because this man is peaking and he is on fire and he is owning offensive lines, and it's awesome to see. Those are my thoughts on the linebacking core this week.
It's a fantastic take, Ty. I want to keep this thing rolling a little bit and get down into quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, 62.4. Boys, I feel like we're hovering in the same range every week, but he averaged 3.34 seconds per drop back. Now, for anybody out there listening that doesn't know, in NFL time, that is a fucking eternity to make a decision and get the ball out of your hands. Now, he had one big time throw and 0 turnover worthy plays. Well done. He was 0 for 4 on passes thrown over 20 yards and averaged only 6.3 yards per attempt from clean pockets. Over 32 dropbacks, he was under pressure on just 5 total plays. Bears blitzing only 4 times. Now, you add all that up, and it sounds like a quarterback that was rather comfortable all day long to sling the ball and move it. Moving on. Special teams, this needs to be addressed. Highest graded special teamer after blocking a field goal was none other than the show favorite, Dean Lowry. Tyson, thoughts there?
Tyson Trigger.
I'm disappointed that Dean Lowry is elite at anything at any point in time because I'm super ready for him to not be on the field. That being said, it's nice when the Packers succeed. But I hate that he's taken snaps away from other players that I'd like to see on the field.
All right, just a few. Sorry, one quick other stat. I gotta jump back to the running backs here, boys. So top 5 in the entire NFL, percent of carries with 2+ yards after contact. So we're talking about the guys that fucking run into walls and keep the chains moving. Number 1, AJ Dillon with a 73% success rate, and then rounding out number fucking 5, Aaron Jones at 71%. Dude, that guy is not a huge back, but he's got a bigger heart than fucking 90% of this league.
I'm sorry, that guy looks like he's scared for his life when he runs. I must say, there's a lot of running backs that I see in the league, and none look like they're being chased by a guy with a knife more than Aaron Jones. That guy just falls like he's just praying not to get hurt. Like I don't know. It's just an amazing way that he runs. He looks afraid, like believably afraid, and he's very effective.
I do worry about Aaron Jones a little bit.
Oh yeah,
he might have that Eddie Lacy. Remember how much fun it was to watch Eddie Lacy? It's like, oh, one guy hit him and he didn't go down, and then another guy hit him and it didn't go down, and another guy hit him and it didn't go down, and then it turned out that he could only do that for like 3 NFL seasons.
Like, I just feel like Aaron Jones is screaming while he's running after contact. He's just screaming out loud and just like trying to pull somehow forward away from the tackle, and it somehow gets him 6 yards. And they're like, man, look at that but like he just doesn't look like other guys look when they're doing a spin move or like coming into contact. I feel bad for that guy. I feel like he's like in a constant game of chess with death.
It really is. It really is. I would love to round this out, boys, and just kind of close this chapter in the season Bears wise. We did what we had to do. Ty, give me some final thoughts in 30 seconds or less.
Bears still suck. We're 2-0 against the Bears this season, so they didn't beat us yet another year. We also captured the all-time winningest football team by beating the Bears, so they can suck it. They're not as good as the Packers.
Love it. Love it. Tyson, give it to me, man. What are you thinking here at this point in the season? Record that we have coming off a W. Break it down.
As bad as the Packers have looked at times this year, the shit still will always roll downhill, and Chicago will always present itself as inferior to what we got going on. And that at least is something that's real. That being said, Justin Fields is an athlete and we can't stop those. So they gave themselves a major chance in this game, but that athlete also makes huge errors and makes poor choices. And that's how this is. Here's the thing. Every game this year is going to be a Rocky movie. It seems like at this point on, it's just like, old beat up Rocky coming out there, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Rock's got it," and then he ends up going up against someone and beats the shit out of him, but he just can take it until in the end he ended up coming back 14 points and taking a 6-point lead, and it's and then we live to fight another Rocky movie. So like this was a classic case of Bears Packers slugfest. And but this is a situation like Mr. T where they had no fucking chance. Everyone knows they're not going to win. This is a waste of, and it's the Bears, and I'm glad that this Bears chapter for the year is done, but it was an enjoyable one. I thought it was a good game. It was a good series for the Packers.
I gotta say, Ty, no matter when Soldier Field comes into view, camera-wise, like everybody's talking about the field, the fucking conditions, the wind, all this shit. I mean, since I was like a kid, you know what I mean? Where you would think at this point, maintaining a football field when you have the amount of like money and resources that you do as an NFL franchise would be pretty standard, But it seems that no matter what, it's just always fucking trash. Now, I'm not a grass man, I'm looking for some insight here. Now, Ty, we're gonna call this Turf Talk with Ty, and I'd love to get your opinion on Soldier Field, and yeah, I'll let you take it from there, my man.
Talking turf with Ty.
Your eyes don't deceive you, Mayhew. That thing is a cow pasture. It is just unkept. You would think that they would devote some resources to it. You'd think that the grounds crew might take some pride in their work, but apparently not in Chicago. I can't handle how poorly maintained it is. It's like they hired the neighborhood kid, some 12-year-old with a push mower, and he didn't show up. So they're just receiving citations from the city of Chicago because they're being bad neighbors on how poorly their grass is kept. It's lumpy. You can tell. You watch guys roll ankles just walking out on the thing. Some guy comes out to flip an honorary coin and trips over the molehill that's growing in the middle of this field. It is pathetic. It is unkept, and they have no solution. They're just like, sorry guys, we just have the worst field in the NFL. It's part of our advantage.
It feels like that whole stadium should be burned into the ground, and I feel like they just made it, and it already looks like trash. I hate the Bears.
Bears still suck.
Oh,
Bears
for sure. Yeah, that's settled. You can finally set that to rest.
Well, fans group, clearly we got the bye week here this Sunday. So everybody rest up, enjoy themselves, be more productive than usual, I would imagine. And then coming out of there, we will return home against the LA Rams. Now, a lot of things under the surface here. Number one is this coaching tree situation. My man, Matt LaFleur, going against McVay across the field. And like, these guys have been best friends forever, standing up in fucking weddings. They're all part of the Shanahan tree. It doesn't matter. It's like one more layer of goddamn chess that Matt LaFleur is going to struggle with like he does on a regular basis. So, question, Tyson, who's the better looking coach? Go.
Oh man, it's impossible. I think I think McVay is he's a more convincing guy. Like, are we talking about looks? Or are we talking we're hanging out and we're interacting? Because if that's the case,
what do you want him to blow in your ear, dude?
Huh?
I'm just saying McVay seems more comfortable in his skin than Matt LaFleur. I've gotten to know Matt a little better this year. He seems like a good looking awkward dude. You know what I mean? I get like a smart awkward dude who's good looking, who's got a nice car and a sweet boat, and everyone likes to be on it. But he's a little weird, but everyone's like, lets it fly, Whereas Sean McVay is like male stripper version of John Gruden, pretty much. It's the same situation.
Sean McVay to me looks like if he wasn't an NFL coach, he'd be playing lead guitar in a Christian band on Sunday. And I just irks me, that guy.
this team is coming off a Super Bowl season, but very much has the vibe, at least from my seat, of a team that just went all in and is now just kind of like, well, who gives a shit? We won last year. They're 3-9 currently. Matt Stafford, starting quarterback's fucking injured. They literally just brought in, who was it again, Ty? Who'd they sign off the waves?
Oh, they just picked up Baker. They want some Baker Mayfield action.
Ooh, that's
Baker
a shot in the
ball.
arm. That's a shot in the arm to turn it all
You think
around.
he start? Is he gonna start? Are they gonna start Baker?
Yeah, he's going to start, and he's going to start loaded on blow because now Baker's in LA where he can get all the blow.
Jesus Christ.
We got some quarterback controversy for sure. Moving down the line here, Cam Akers. I think he's talented, struggling a little bit this year, but the man picked up 60 yards, 2 TDs last week. But we get down into receiving, man, and Tyler Cupp used to suck up 99% of like the fucking throws on this offense. It's uncanny. My wife had him in fantasy, and it's like, do we throw the ball to anybody else? But aside from that, it is like lackluster numbers across the board here, guys. Point is like this team is down. It's like a dead horse that like wants to be beat. And if we don't come out with a win on Sunday, I'm going to be disappointed. But at the same time, we're just going to continue to end up right. What are we doing here, guys? What do you want to call it? You want to call it like 9-9, or what is it? 9-7, 8-9, and we'll just be right in the middle of the fucking first round of the draft. What are we doing here? Somebody talk me down.
Well, it's because we got rid of Devontae Adams. That's the reason we don't have any wide receivers. If we had Cooper Kupp, we'd be a Super Bowl champion team.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's the same issues the Rams are having. This is an interesting matchup because the Rams are having the same kind of season the Packers are, which is why the hell aren't we much better than this? And so they're gonna have to do the same soul searching, and they're gonna have to do the same roster turnover, and God, hopefully some coaching turnover. But I really sympathize with the Rams. That being said, I hope we destroy them. I hope that we're not as fallen off as they are, or as played, or the fact that the jig's up McVay. Of that whole coaching tree, the only one to respect is Shanahan, because he's the one who's actually still innovating. And I think that LaFleur and McVay thought they'd just be like, well, we have this innovative scheme and we don't have to do anything more with it.
Well, I don't know. Here's my new angle is that if us say winning out the season and not making the playoffs, circa Packers 2003, I don't know, whatever year it was that we needed Arizona to win or lose or whatever it was, and they didn't. And we won out the season, but it didn't matter, I think the benefit of that is it gives us a chance for Aaron Rodgers to have his closure and say, you know what, we got it back and we did the best we could, but it just wasn't our year. And he might actually consider just hanging it up and retiring and moving on. And we can kind of move on from where we're dealing with here, which is like this never ending purgatory of we owe this man a Super Bowl, but he owes us a Super Bowl. I would love to like be free of this curse as much as he is a great quarterback and has been for so long. Aaron, is there any fucking standout players on the Rams that we need to give a shit about? Because I'm having a hard time giving a fuck at all about this team a week and a half away. And I'll be honest, it's hard for me to think about anything. Can we just talk about how there was a momentum fucking page turn that happened on this team a year away from or however many years away from when Aaron Rodgers did the same thing with Brett Favre against the Cowboys? Like, I felt that when fucking Jordan Love came on the field. We all felt that, okay? This year, if it's not about reality, stats, wins, the most important one, then it's got to be about something, right? Then it's about feelings, which is the dumbest thing for it to be about, but it is. It's about Aaron Rodgers' feelings. It's about our feelings about the Packers. It's about the feeling of hope, right? How do we find it? My feelings are that this whole fucking thing changed a week and a half ago when Aaron Rodgers finally trotted into the fucking the sideline, and we watched Jordan Love come out there and easily score 10 points. And I have to say that we're all pining for more Jordan Love. America's pining for Jordan Love, and Aaron Rodgers is like the old starlet that is unaware that the world does not want her fucking opinion on the fucking Hollywood squares anymore. And you need to fucking move over because we don't want you on the show anymore. But everybody wants, but they're still the star. They're still the number one quarterback everyone wants to hear from. I don't know. I just feel like we're stuck right now, and that the league is turning over and becoming a young, athletic quarterback with a short lifespan kind of a league. And we are sitting here trying to like squeeze the last juice out of this old turnip using this old business model, a West Coast offense, and you play through the pain, and you stick with your guy, and all this bullshit doesn't pass the eye test. And the rest of the league that is succeeding is doing so not with the kind of quarterback or the model that we're running. And they're telling me that's not a problem. And everyone can see that it is. How do we deal with this perception versus reality versus feelings? Because I feel like if it's not about perception or reality or stats, it's got to be about feelings. And my feeling is that this whole fucking thing just turned over, and the whole world wants to see wants to see Jordan Love play and Aaron Rodgers sit down. How do you guys feel about that?
It's all in the fucking blender for me, man. It's everything you just said. I go each week, I go fucking up and down with this like entire thing. But this week, I think I have some clarity here that look, Gutekunst came out with his press conference and tried to address this thing in the same manner that all GMs do, which is like as vague as possible so they're not overly committed, but contracts have been signed, few things have been said. So here's what I see. I don't think they're going to do fucking dick with Aaron Rodgers. At this point, they've painted themselves into a corner money-wise, where if this guy doesn't just want to walk away on his own, they've come so far. He's been a Packer his entire life. I think part of their complex is that they wanted to end this thing admirably, avoid the Brett Favre saga, and I think that was part of like Aaron Rodgers' thought process too. So they give him the 3-year deal, all the fucking money, and things fall apart this year, and now we're fucking scrambling. That's one layer. Layer number 2 is the J Love scenario. Clearly, they moved up to draft this kid. They felt like they saw something. Everybody has thought he was an absolute piece of shit until, like, honestly, a few weeks ago, where he came out.
I'm not part of everybody. I fucking love this kid since day one, just like I loved Aaron Rodgers. For the record, I've been a J Love fan since day one. Continue.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I helped coax you into that position. I think he called me on draft day and was like, "What did we just do?" And I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's okay, Tyson. This guy has the throwing mind of Brett Favre and the footwork of Aaron Rodgers." And when you put those together, I think he really is. He's got a gunslinger mentality if you let it out. But he has been working on his craft. It is clear he's been doing the reps. He's been putting in the two-a-days. He's been working with outside trainers. My problem with Jordan Love has always been that he's so about himself that he's focused on coach relationships more than player relationships. But you know what? Give him the leadership role. I think he develops those player relationships and becomes an incredibly important part of this game. The Packers have to, at some point, recognize that Aaron Rodgers he's a soldier. He walked out there with a broken thumb on his throwing hand, immediately got a fractured rib, fought through. I mean, he's been doing the old man thing. And it's as proud of him as I am to watch him be like, yeah, it's just my throwing elbow. It's fine. It's swollen, but I'll play today. It's been incredibly frustrating in that I do want to see a little more love. Yeah, my favorite thing about Aaron Rodgers last week was he actually handed the ball off on 3rd and 2. That was pretty sweet. he did not throw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage on third or beyond the first down marker on third down as much as I would have liked. There were a lot of behind the line of scrimmage passes or like
I'll take that over a 40-yard pass on a 3rd and 3. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I just
I don't
want,
know what I hate more, but I'm pretty sure it's the second one.
I just
Boys,
want
it was
Dylan to
it was
fall
the
forward.
fourth
I
down,
don't
the fourth
need
down throw to
him to
Cobb.
go
He went for it
everywhere.
all like in the end zone. It was like 3rd
Yeah.
and 12, or then it might have been like 4th down. Where I'm again, like when it's all on the line, he just wants to hit that home run every time.
4th downs. Can we talk about it? Are you guys fucking down with this never-ending quest to go for it on 4th down when we can't fucking score? Like, it's not working out this year, gang. Like, the 4th down big balls statement it feels desperate. It doesn't
What
feel
would you rather
confident.
do? What would you rather do? Trot Mason out there to miss a field goal?
How about
That's-
you replace that fucking kicker? He's not good. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing with
Why?
Mason
I don't know
Crosby?
why Mason got re-signed last year. Mason
Aaron
obviously doesn't play football
Rodgers is
anymore.
why.
Mason's
Aaron
done with football.
Rodgers.
Mason's like, I've got a wife, I've got teenage kids. I don't need this bullshit. I can retire with the money I have. And Morgan Rogers is like, well, you got to drive me to the stadium, man. You're my only friend now. And,
Yeah, yeah.
and Crosby's like, but I'm no good at kicking field goals. It hurts and it's cold, and I don't want to do it. And Rogers is like, but you got to drive me home too. And Crosby's like, no, I don't want to. Like, Crosby just wants to like not be Aaron Rodgers' designated driver anymore. And like he fucking has to show up and kick field goals as a result of having to be Rodgers DD. And he's fucking had it. He doesn't
And he's
want to
tired
do
of carrying his fucking travel neck pillow every time they go on a
Yes.
fucking trip just so Aaron can borrow it and then not
Yep.
get back until the end of the flight. It's like, why am I even
Exactly.
bringing this fucking neck pillow if
Poor Mason. Just let the man retire. He doesn't want to
He
kick
won't.
field goals in the cold anymore. He wants to give it up to some Argentinian guy who fucking all he's ever done is kick pig bladders over the tops of oak. Like that's the guy we want now. Not
Yeah.
Mason.
You're right. An Argentinian in Green Bay in December makes a lot of sense, Ty. I
Oh,
like
He
it.
doesn't care. He wants it. He's got the fire in his belly, and he's ready. He's proven himself. It's gonna happen. Packers forward thinking. Let's get some scouting done.
at this point in the show, we like to go ahead and talk and bitch about things that bother us about the world. I have so many things I don't know where to start, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass the baton to my fellow dad over here, Mayhew. What grinds your gears, my man?
I'll tell you what grinds my gears these days, Tyson. And it's fucking school health policy in regards to my children. Okay. Now we're all
Just yours, though.
everybody's listening as well. Look, we're all doing the best we goddamn can. All right. Coming out of fucking pandemic, whatever. Kids get sick. We want to keep them safe. I understand it. But the policy here is like if my kid has a fucking snotty nose, it's like a 36-hour shutdown. First off, 36 hours. Why don't you just tell me he can't come there for 2 days? Let's just get straight after it. You know what I mean? And honestly, it almost hinders me from wanting to tell you he has anything going wrong. You know what I mean? I'm going to send him into you with fucking pox on his face, fucking shit in his pants, and just be like, yeah, he's fine. He's good.
He's good.
All checks out.
I gotta go to work.
I got to
okay?
go to work.
I gotta go to work.
So shame on you for trying to keep yourself healthy, the rest of the classroom healthy for 36 fucking hours. Let's just call it 24, folks. Let's treat it real. I'll take the day off. I'll stay home. I've done it a million fucking times, but let's not go overkill and just let the cesspool continue until we can get to like fucking June and it all kind of works itself out. Tyson, am I wrong?
No, you've never been wrong in your life, Aaron.
Thank you. And that was my what grinds your gears.
Oh, that's great. That is good stuff. That is top notch gear grinding right there. You guys want to know what grinds my gears?
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. Ty, you want to know what grinds my gears?
I absolutely do.
Yeah, I bet you would. How about you, Aaron? You want to know what grinds my gears?
It seems like you're really building this thing up. Yeah, I'm dying to know.
Yeah, we're all dying to know.
What grinds my gears is how damn bossy cars have become. You know, I got a little low tire pressure. The thing's gonna ding at me. I'm over 5,000 on miles before the oil change. This thing's gonna ding at me. I'm not gonna buckle my seatbelt. I'm going to the end of the driveway to get the mail. He's dinging at me. I get in the fucking thing. It just dings for like 7 minutes. It just complains. It tells me to contact my dealer. I don't know what's going on. I just hate how bossy it is. I'm like, you have nothing to do with me and my dealer. Why don't you stay out of this truck?
Why do you need to buy drugs right now? What does that do with anything, truck?
Why do even Rams need to know what my fucking pickup schedule is? Like, get out of here with this. It's become too much, and I'm ready to just start pulling fuses. And if I don't have dash lights, that's fine. I just need to stop having this thing just complain. I'm like, you're a machine. You do what I say. Stop fucking lecturing me. And that grinds my gears.
No, my 2012 Jeep is like dying every time I drive it. Something new is breaking right now. So it's an experience.
74 sensors. Let's get rid of all of them.
Ty, I'm with you. Seatbelt wise, you know, when it comes to the Subaru, it starts off real cordial too. It's like, hey, put your seatbelt on. Hey, and then quickly jumps into, motherfucker, I am not gonna stop until you do what I say. I'm like, I'm driving through a horse pasture. Why do I need a seatbelt? Your car's like, we don't know any better. We're just gonna complain. Don't need it. Don't want it. Rejected. Do better, car companies. You fucking nailed it yet again. I got a quick question for both of you too, because this hasn't gotten brought up, but basically when you play over in Europe, you're offered like the bye week immediately following. So that would put our bye week at, you know, what is that number? Like 5th weekend, I want to say. Matt LaFleur chose to bypass that.
Jets.
Okay. Chose to bypass that, looking for a later one here. And I'm curious, if you were a coach, what would be your approach in 30 seconds or less? Tyson, thoughts?
The opposite of anything that Matt LaFleur chose this year. He seems like every pants choice he chose, I would choose the opposite pants. Any kind of like anything he chose, where he zigged, I would absolutely be zagging as hard as one could zag. So like I would say, what he do? Yeah, I'm gonna do the opposite. That's where I'm at. Under 30 seconds. Done.
Boom. Ty, same question. You get offered to have a bye week after, you know, your team is traveling over to Europe, but your bye week comes in week 5, or you take whatever the roll of the dice gives you, in which case we landed on number 13, 14.
Having never been before, that's an experience. And I think I would have really taken that bye week. Absolutely. You take that early. Well, knowing what I know now, see, hindsight, it's a crazy thing. I absolutely probably would have rolled the dice. I would have been like, week 4 bye, we don't need it. We're going to roll over the Jets. Then we'll whoop the shit out of the Patriots. Then we won't have any problems going through the division. And we'll be made. Yeah. Come to think of it, no. Screw that taking that week 5 bye. I mean, in hindsight, it's easy because then we're not unprepared for the Jets. It doesn't roll over into whatever that next game was that we shouldn't have lost.
Gentlemen, it is time for predictions. I got a question for you. Who's going to have a big dick energy game this next week in like 14 days? Gentlemen, who's going to have it against the Rams? Mayhew, you go first.
I'm going to go with my boy Romeo, who I think is going to be finally coming off the injury report. And hopefully getting right back to where he was before he left. I think wide receiver wise, the future is bright, and I'm hoping this guy's going to light it up along with his boy Watson, everybody.
I think every one of these linebackers has a big dick day. I think we got Preston Smith, big dick. I think we got Quay. He's going to show up with a big dick.
Huge dick.
Yep. Devondre, he was a semi last week, but next week, Justin Hollins. Justin Hollins was a pickup 2 weeks ago. He scared a man out of bounds last week. He didn't even tackle him. He just ran towards him, and that big dick was just like, Justin Hollins, I don't know who you are, but I'm running out of bounds.
Huge
The
dick.
linebacking core of the Green Bay Packers are going to shred Baker Mayfield. Big dicking for the Packers.
I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it simple. Me myself. I'm gonna say John Runyon's dick is gonna swell that day, and it's just due to something he ate. He ate something and it didn't agree with him, but his penis is gonna get really swollen. He's gonna have to play, and he's gonna play exceptionally well considering the medical procedure that he's probably gonna require at the end. It's gonna be confusing, but he'll be on the injury report the following week. But like Bakhtiari's, appendectomy, he'll be back before you know it. Aaron, what were you gonna say that was so fucking important? Please.
I honestly don't recall. I think we're rolling into
Oh, here we go.
Final score, fellas. We need some predictions. Chaz loves bringing up the fact that not one of us has ever been right on any of these predictions. And
This is the week I'm gonna get it.
But
Here it is.
not one correct answer the entire season. I think I was off by 45 points and won because I predicted the Bears would lose. We need predictions for next week, fellas. What do you got, Mayhew?
Ty, I can see you're taking notes. I'm gonna go 24-10 Pack. I mean, this is the kind of game where we're at home coming off a bye week, going against a team that fucking has lost all will to do anything more than show up. I think. I feel like if we don't dominate to some capacity, I'm even more depressed than I currently am. So go Pack 24-10.
Tyson. T-Bone.
I think this is going to be a very confusing win for the Packers of 48-45.
Woo!
It's the Rams in two teams that are supposed to suck, but somehow managed to catch offensive fire in an all-time showdown battle of the what's happened, and it's going to end up being it's going to be an amazing game that we will become victorious, and it really doesn't mean anything, but it'll be an all-time classic. 48-45, Green Bay.
We'll go 28-27 Packers over Rams for myself in a, like Tyson said, an emotional whirlwind. Folks, if this thing is still going on at 9:15 on Monday night, don't lose hope. Packers will squeeze this one out. We just have to hang on long enough to outlast a team that is falling apart faster than a sandcastle.
Here's what I'll say. I was offered a free ticket to this game, and I said no. Because I don't want to. It's a Monday. It's night. I'm a dad. Like, that's a tall order. You know what I mean? I can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, we like to end the show by talking trash about the other team. Tonight is no different. Folks, we're going to go hashtag the Rams are a joke. 3, 2, 1. The Rams are
a joke. Hey, America, don't forget to spay new to your pets. Thanks for coming out to Two Dads and a Chaz. And suck a big old dick, Rams. Big dick energy dick.
Yeah, we're not using any of that. But
Two dads and a Chaz, putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a Chaz, talking Green Bay Packers football.
We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Most of gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air condition, cause it's bound to get hot.
Two dads and a Chaz, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a Chaz, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall.
Trophies, y'all.
Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.